Preface by Edgar Allan Poe. Read for Librivox.org by Rachel Mays. Preface. In placing before the public this collection of Edgar Poe's poetical works, it is requisite to point out in what respects it differs from, and is superior to, the numerous collections which have preceded it. Until recently, all editions, whether American or English, of Poe's poems have been verbatim reprints of the first posthumous collection, published at New York in 1850. In 1874, I began drawing attention to the fact that unknown and unreprinted poetry by Edgar Poe was in existence. Most, if not all, of the specimens issued in my articles have since been reprinted by different editors and publishers, but the present is the first occasion on which all the pieces referred to have been garnered into one sheaf. Besides the poems thus alluded to, this volume will be found to contain many additional pieces and extra stanzas, nowhere else published or included in Poe's works. Such verses have been gathered from printed or manuscript sources during a research extending over many years. In addition to new poetical matter included in this volume, attention should also be solicited on behalf of the notes, which will be found to contain much matter, interesting both from a biographical and bibliographical points of view. John H. Ingram. End of preface. This recording is in the public domain.
Section 1 of the Complete Poetical Works. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit Librivox.org. Recording by Merendo 07. The Complete Poetical Works by Edgar Allan Poe. Section 1. Memoir of Edgar Allan Poe by John H. Ingram, Part 1. During the last few years, every incident in the life of Edgar Poe has been subjected to microscopic investigation. The result has not been altogether satisfactory. On the one hand, envy and prejudice have magnified every blemish of his character into crime, whilst on the other, blind admiration would depict him as far, quote, too good for human nature's daily food, unquote. Let us endeavor to judge him impartially, granting that he was, as a mortal, subject to the ordinary weaknesses of mortality, but that he was tempted sorely, treated badly, and suffered deeply. The poet's ancestry and parentage are chiefly interesting as explaining some of the complexities of his character. His father, David Poe, was of Anglo-Irish extraction. Educated for the bar, he elected to abandon it for the stage. In one of his tours through the chief towns of the United States, he met and married a young actress, Elizabeth Arnold, member of an English family distinguished for its musical talents. As an actress, Elizabeth Poe acquired some reputation, but became even better known for her domestic virtues. In those days, the United States afforded little scope for dramatic energy, so it is not surprising to find that, when her husband died after a few years of married life, the young widow had a vain struggle to maintain herself and three little ones, William Henry, Edgar, and Rosalie. Before her premature death in December 1811, the poet's mother had been reduced to the dire necessity of living on the charity of her neighbors. Edgar, the second child of David and Elizabeth Poe, was born at Boston in the United States on the 19th of January 1809. Upon his mother's death at Richmond, Virginia, Edgar was adopted by a wealthy Scotch merchant, John Allan. Mr. Allan, who had married an American lady and settled in Virginia, was childless. He therefore took naturally to the brilliant and beautiful little boy, treated him as his son, and made him take his own surname. Edgar Allan, as he was now styled, after some elementary tuition in Richmond, was taken to England by his
Sample complete. Ready to continue?